Hi, we're back in the camper today. We are going to make some keto fat bombs. Now, I'm not sure where you're from, but here what we make are called Buckeyes. I'm not sure if everybody calls them that or if it's just because I'm from Ohio that we call them Buckeyes. But the keto fat bomb should be about 3.7 grams of carbs each. So if you're trying to stay under 20 and you only have these as your carbs for the day, you can have 4 or 5 of these max. So personally, I don't usually use a lot of them, but my husband has a bit of a sweet tooth, so I kind of have to limit him and keep track of how many carbs are in each one. So what we're going to use today, we're going to use 1 cup of peanut butter. I'm not going to lie, I didn't get the all natural peanut butter. I got the regular peanut butter that has per tablespoon, or for 2 tablespoons, it has 8 total carbohydrates, but it has 2 dietary fiber. So you subtract that and it's 6 carbs per 2 tablespoons. So we also are going to use 1/2 cup of almond flour. Doesn't matter what brand you use. I'm using, looks like something called Nature Eats, and it's just blanched almond flour. The finer the better, I find, for baking. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of softened butter. We're going to use 3/4 of a cup or 3/4 of a cup of Keto Friendly confectioner sugar. It doesn't matter the maker. I'm using Swerve because I have Swerve. So it can be any confectioner's sugar that is keto friendly. We are going to use 2 tablespoons of brown sugar that is keto friendly. Again, in my area it's so limited. So the only brand that actually has brown sugar here is Swerve for me. We're also going to use 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now, the vanilla, Jeff went out and had to find this because I've always used imitation vanilla for like Christmas cookies and things like that. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't use it sparingly. So, I've always added a little bit more. Vanilla's kind of like my thing with Christmas cookies. But the first time we made fat bombs, I used that and Jeff could really taste the alcohol in that. So he went out and got some pure vanilla, and that's what I've been baking with ever since. We're also going to use just a dash of salt. For the chocolate that goes on the outside of the Buckeyes, we're just going to use some keto friendly chocolate chips. Here, the only thing we have is Lily's. We've looked, my goodness, we've been to like 5 different Walmarts looking. We've been to Meijer's. This is our option. So we're going to use Lily's, and we're going to use 2 tablespoons of refined coconut oil. So this is just really beneficial. It's going to help smooth out this chocolate when we melt it down so that it makes a nice shell on the outside of that peanut butter. So I kind of did want to take a minute and talk to you about the difference in these because I didn't know the difference. The first time I went out and I bought virgin unrefined coconut oil and I made these. I am not a coconut fan. This actually tastes like coconut. If it says unrefined, you're going to get that coconut flavor. This time we are using organic refined coconut oil, which has no taste. Now Jeff really liked this because to him it was almost like an Almond Joy bar mixed with the Lily's chocolate. Kind of gave him that feeling of an Almond Joy, but I'm not an Almond Joy person, and a lot of our family isn't. So we're going to make some like with the refined to see if they like that a little bit better. One tip that I did learn was to use a coffee cup instead of a bowl when we're dipping the peanut butter into the chocolate, because this will give you a deeper base and will allow you to go further and get it around that ball of peanut butter like we want. I just thought I would use this and be able to throw it away when I'm done. No mess. So I'm back. I went ahead and I just kind of put everything in the cups and measured everything out the best I could. I didn't want to bore you to death by watching that. I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. If you're thinking of making this, you know how to do that. So I didn't put this in there yet. This is my teaspoon of vanilla. So I've already put 3/4 cup of the chocolate chips in here, so I put those away. So we're going to focus first on this, and then we'll worry about that while this is cooling a little bit. So now I just dump everything in. This is my 3/4 cup of confectioner sugar. I already put 1 tablespoon of brown sugar in. Make sure you get all that yummy peanut butter in there. I've also already put the butter into here. I think it was 2 tablespoons of softened butter. I already did that. So I forgot to tell you about that. I'm sorry. And now just a little bit of salt. So now we're just going to lock this in place. So now that everything's all mixed up, okay, we're just going to chill this now. I'm going to put it right in the refrigerator. You can put it in the freezer too. Doesn't really matter. The idea is to wait until it's ready to ball, but honestly, I think I could have balled it right then and it would have been fine. So now we're back here and we're going to focus on the chocolate. Yum! So, like I said before, I already have my 3/4 cup of Lily's chocolate chips in here. Doesn't have to be Lily's. It can be any keto-friendly chocolate chips. If you know something better, if you have a source, let us know because we are so limited here. So next I'm going to use 2 tablespoons, of my refined coconut oil. Now, this stuff is kind of, it looks like it's really firm. It's not. So we're going to scrape it out of there. Okay, now the idea is to warm this up 30 seconds at a time and stir in between each time. Yesterday I did this for 30 seconds, stirred. When I went back after that, it was almost too thin. So I'm going to go 30 seconds and then 15. So we're going to try this and see how it goes. So as you can see, our coconut oil is now melted completely. So I'm going to do some stirring. Get everything mixed in good. So our chocolate's just a little bit runnier than I would like. So I think in the future what I will do is use 2 teaspoons instead of 2 tablespoons. I think it might be just a little too much coconut oil. And it's kind of finicky to work with. So I have it in the freezer right now cooling just to try to get everything set. I thought while we're waiting on that, we could roll our peanut butter balls. So, in order for this to stay the 3.7 carbs per serving, you need to roll these in teaspoon size. You roll it just like you do with Play-Doh when you're playing with Play-Doh. Roll it in a nice ball. We're going to sit it in there because we're going to freeze these as well. Okay, I'm going to finish rolling these and we'll be back in a bit. We're back and we're ready to dip. So, we're going to use... We're not ready to dip. We're going to use the toothpick. We're just going to dip it right in there. Get that chocolate almost all the way around it. And bring it out here. If you're a perfectionist and you don't like that hole on the top, you can kind of smooth it over if you want. Personally, my husband's taking these to work, so he's going to be fine. So that's how it would work. Then after you're done dipping, just put it in their freezer for 15-20 minutes. Let that chocolate get good and hard. It'll be the Buckeye that you've always seen, only keto style. Until next time.